Hello friends, my name is Koolio and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're taking a first look impressions video for DENGEKI Bunko Crossing Void. Hopefully I said that right. To be honest, I'm just going to refer to this game as Crossing Void for the rest of the video because I don't think I'm saying it correctly. Now, for those of you that don't know, this game has been available over in the East for a while, in like some in Asian countries and stuff like that, not in English. However, I believe last week the game officially launched an English version over in like the Philippines, Southeast Asia area, so I've been able to jump in, play the game. I've been enjoying it so far. However, there are some things behind the game that I'm not like the biggest fan of, and I do want to let you guys know, if you decide to jump into this game, if you don't live over in Southeast Asia, if you're living in like the United States, you're going to have some connection issues. So I do want to let you guys know throughout this video there may be some times where loading takes a little bit longer than you're probably used to. So just to let you guys know, because it can get a little bit, not laggy, but just slow at some parts. So let's go ahead and actually just jump into the game and show you guys what the combat looks like to give you an idea of what everything looks, what things kind of play out in this game. Now the first thing I want to talk about is this game is based off of a whole bunch of what's known as light novels, or anime style novels or manga novels and stuff like that. And a lot of these characters come from those. Now, I haven't read any light novels. However, I've seen some animes that are based off of light novels such as Sword Art Online. You'll see like Kirito in here and things like that. So I do have to apologize because I don't know all of the characters in this game. But I will have to say the character art is very beautiful. It looks absolutely great. But I will say though that there are some times where you're jumping into story missions and the art for the characters seem really stiff compared to like how fluid like the combat animations and stuff are. So it's a little bit interesting. It's not like my favorite thing. It's just a little off-putting that they have like really high quality animated attack sequences and skills. Yet when it comes to like the story mode, a lot of the, you know, the animated character 2D designs they look really stiff. So here we are in combat. Now when it comes to setting up your team, you have 3 main heroes, and each of those heroes have a sub-hero that brings with them extra abilities and passives. Now when you're going into combat, essentially all of your skills cost a certain amount of energy or mana to use, and you can see that up in the top left. Now when you activate a skill, let's say I go ahead and activate my second skill right there, the brakes. Actually, I'm not going to activate that. I'm going to go ahead and activate this bleed effect right here on this first person. It's going to cost 1 energy. However, that 1 energy generates 1 like ultimate skill energy point. And so once I've accumulated enough ultimate skill energy, then I can go ahead and use that energy for an ultimate ability. So it is a kind of a cool like tug of war style of energy use, and I haven't seen another game that uses something similar to that, so I actually really like that. So we're going to go through and actually get through this battle real quick. You can see all the really cool, fun animations because the skill animations in this game are absolutely over the top. Now, one of the things I do want to point out, this game does have a sort of Fate Grand Order Epic 7 style of gameplay feel for me personally. But one of the things I do really like about it is, instead of having to like, kind of like dive into a lot of these characters' abilities, if you don't want to take the time to read every single character ability or try to remember what certain abilities do, they do have a very brief little saying at the very bottom that basically explains what that ability does. If it has an A in front of it, it means it attacks all of the enemies. If it has an F in front of it, it'll attack the front enemy. If it has a B in front of it, it'll attack, or back, it'll attack the back enemy. Now, one thing that is kind of cool is you can go ahead and actually swap positions for certain characters. Now I'm on my second character in the row. If I go ahead and swap positions, I can actually move her to the back. Switching them, it does use up that turn for that character. But for example, if you have like a healer that you find is being targeted by a certain character that has like, you know, that attacks the middle character, you might want to move them to the back or something like that. So another thing, if it says A, it means it attacks all the enemies, giving them a bleed effect. If it says AoE, it basically means it attacks all of the enemies still as well. So it's really cool. Now one of the things I like too about it is the like combinations of skills for all the different characters. Now the team that I currently got set up is basically the team most people are going to get at the beginning of the game, but I found that this team works very good with bleed effects. Almost all of the characters on my team have some sort of bleeding effect that can be applied to pretty much all of the enemies on the field. Now what I like to do is you can actually go through, set up all these bleed effects on the enemy, and then actually 2 of my characters have ultimate skills that I can activate, which essentially like detonates or uses those bleed effects to deal more damage. So I could go ahead and use this guy's ability, his ultimate, to do what's a break, which basically means it stops an ultimate ability from being activated. I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm actually going to save my bleed effect for one of the other enemies in just a few seconds. Now there is auto combat in this game, and there is speed up, and it does do a fair enough, a good enough job. However, I feel like combat at some points, even with the speed up, takes a long time. Not necessarily because of like the animation style in the game, but mainly because like the enemies have like your team, the enemy team, you both have pretty high health points, and you don't deal like a lot of damage. You can see like those ones are like, it does like 5 damage and things like that. It just doesn't feel like your characters do a lot of damage, not in like a bad way, just like in a slow pace way. Like if you're taking on like a really big fight and you're just kind of like chipping at the enemy, it kind of feels like that at some point. So we're gonna go ahead and actually activate our first ultimate ability. You can see that now my character is charging up, and we gotta pray that the enemy doesn't use a break skill to stop her from activating that ability. So we're gonna go ahead and use a bleed effect. You can see my sub hero just jumped out. Now the skills for your characters, the one on the two on the left, the two left of my ultimate ability belong to my main character. The two on the right belong to the sub character. Now they do have crossing abilities, or I think they call them crossing void abilities, that certain characters can use if they have specific relationships, which do unlock some pretty powerful abilities. So let's go ahead and activate this break ability. I do not want that girl in the front row activating her ultimate, so I'm going to activate that break and stop her from being able to activate it. So it's a pretty cool combination of skills. I do have to say there is a good amount of strategy in this game when it comes to which skills affect what enemies. So here it is, my ultimate ability. She tosses the coin up, grabs it in the air, and fires lightning off. And I love it. It looks really, really cool, but this game does have the problem that the animations do take a little bit of time, and so you'll end up finding out that it kind of gets a little boring after a while. So just to let you guys know, it can get kind of boring when you're activating certain characters' abilities over and over again. So let's go ahead and activate his ultimate ability. He's got a lot of health points, so I should be fine to go ahead and activate it. He pretty much picks all this stuff up and just chucks it out of their faces. I'm pretty sure that's something from the light novel itself, so we'll have to see how that works. But there we go. Bada bing. I just finished that combat scenario. So I really do like the combat. It has a little bit of a slower pace when it comes to the abilities, taking kind of a long time, even though the animations look absolutely amazing. And then it just feels like things take a while when it does damage. And I have gone through and kind of equipped things and like upgraded them and stuff like that, and it still kind of feels like it takes a little bit of time. Like you gotta take your time going through it. One of the things I think people might not like about this game is there's a lot of stuff that's kind of locked away from in progression. For example, if you want to go through and collect your items that you get through melling, you can't do that till you get to level 10, which can take a little bit of time to get there. Not a lot, like you could probably do that within like an hour or two or something like that, but it's not something that you can get like right off the bat, which was a little bit annoying. And then it does take a little bit of time to actually gain the materials in order to do a gacha, and I haven't seen like a 10 times summon in this game, but I will be doing one in this video. This will be my first one. They don't give you a free one. Now, I have read some things online, however, that when it comes to this game's systems like summoning and gacha rates, they significantly nerfed them for the English version as compared to the Eastern, I think Japanese or Korean version. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, which is really, really annoying. I think like it was like 5% or something for SSRs, like the really rare ones, and then they like dropped it down to 2% too. And one of the other things is like there are certain characters that you can get lower rating versions of them, but however they change that, you can only get high rarity versions of them, like for Kirito, which is annoying for people that want to get him. It's really, really hard to get him now. So I can't really confirm that. I just read a couple of reports of people kind of talking about that, just to let you guys know, which can be frustrating, so you might want to look into that a little bit. Now let's go ahead and actually talk about the progression system in this game, and actually go ahead and check out some of the cool stuff that you can do with these characters. So basically you get a lot of these different food items that you can use to just give to the character, that you can level them up. Looks like I can get to level 10. They match your character's level. You can also go through and star rank them up. Now, when it comes to star ranking, you have to get these specific materials in order to do that. And you have to upgrade them a certain amount of times. Here at the bottom, you can see I got to upgrade it 3 times in order to unlock her next star level rating, which gets her all the way up to 6 stars. You also have these different talents that you can go through that different characters have. And the skill system is interesting. Basically, with this, actually, this is a sub character. Let me go ahead and actually go over to a main character right here and show you kind of what that progression looks like. With the skill system right here, you can see that we've got multiple skills going on. You've got this ultimate skill, which you can upgrade using just basic gold. As long as you've got the gold and you're at the right star rating, you can go ahead and upgrade these. I'm not sure if it's the same for higher tier levels. You've also got these kind of passive bonuses too that you can upgrade as you're going through, that you have to unlock as you star rank them up. And then it's the same thing for the basic abilities as well. You can go through and increase those as well. Now this is the cross abilities that I was talking about. Now, for example, this one right here, Best Roommates, it's got a cooldown of 1 round, deals damage of 243% attack to all enemies. If the cross character advances by 1 star, damage dealt is increased by a certain amount. It shows you how much skill points it costs, what type of ability. But you can see, like, I like that combination effect of like combining different characters together to get specific abilities and combos. I love that about this game. I think it's really interesting. Now the KREW system is a little weird as well because it's an equipment system that you can go through. You can collect these different equipments, just 1, 2, 3, whatever. However, I haven't really, you can go through and enhance them by sacrificing materials, but I haven't like found any materials to do it yet. So I don't know if like I just haven't gotten to the point where like you unlock a specific dungeon for that. So I'm not entirely sure. Now, one thing I do want to talk about before we end the video and do the summons is you can unlock these different challenges. You can get specific KREWs, character experiences, fragments, and Majo, which I believe is a premium currency, but they have a difference between like paid premium currency and free premium currency, which is really annoying. There's certain summons that you can't do unless it's paid premium currency, which is kind of dumb. But I do like these void trials. I'm actually not going to jump in and play one, but basically it's these specific trials that you go through where you have to use the character's abilities effectively. Now, it actually gives you like a full boosted team. The first one I did had like a pretty strong team, not like my main team, and I had to use specific characters' abilities in order to defeat it. I like that. It was kind of a cool little puzzle challenge that you had to kind of go through to figure out how to defeat that level. So let's go ahead and actually go into the summons real quick. Now you need these specific coins, these gacha vouchers. You need a total of 50 of them in order to do a 10-time summon. So this is my very first 10-time summon, so cross your fingers. Hopefully we get something good. I don't know exactly what the summoning rates are, but here's the animation. Go ahead and summon. I have no idea how to tell if something's good or not. And we got those characters. Yep. That's it. It didn't, like, nothing special happened. I don't think we got anything rare. That was like really, really lame. I don't think there's a way to like look at the details. And I don't know how to, let's see. Let's go ahead and do this. It looks like it's going to cost, oh my gosh, 150 of these in order to get 1 summoning ticket. That is ridiculous. Are you serious right now? Okay, well, we'll just go through and just do some basic summons, I guess, to end this video. See, that's another thing that kind of makes me upset about this game. It's like, it's a good game, but like it has these little things here and there that just kind of taint it. And I've been coming across a lot of those games lately. Now, oh, look at that. We got a sub-character. It looks like a rare sub-character, which is pretty cool. So welcome to the team, purple sub-character. Well, guys, that will be... oh, I was going to let you know, this was the same thing, too. I've been playing Overhit, but however, you have to use a VPN for it, and they also nerfed a whole bunch of stuff. So it's really annoying that you got these really great-looking, great-playing gacha games, but they're tainted by development or, you know, companies that they try to cater for specific audiences and then they just completely butcher it. But that's my overall impressions for Crossing Void. If you guys enjoy this game, if you guys are having fun with it, let me know down in the comments. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more gameplay footage for mobile games and stuff like that coming in the future. Alright friends, I'll see you next time.